Alright guys, my name is the Metagoblin and today we're going to be turning Skyrim into a Dark Souls game with mods. Now the core of all the Dark Souls games is extremely difficult boss fights and brutally challenging gameplay, which we're going to very easily implement into Skyrim with a few little cheeky mods. I've got some really big content mods which essentially just add Dark Souls to the game. I have some gameplay tweaking mods which will add the ability to dodge, and also some really cool camera adjustments which make the game look even more like you're playing a Dark Souls game. And just before we begin guys, remember to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss my next video where we'll be turning Skyrim into a Star Wars RPG. So this guide is going to be split into sections as always. First we'll run through the big content mods, then we'll run through the gameplay tweaking mods to finish off. So for this video we have 3 very big Dark Souls inspired content mods, and my favourite has to be the VIGILANT. I played through this one, quite extensively to collect footage for the video. It's a very well made mod with a great story. First of all, you start as a Vigilant Stendar agent, kind of going from town to town investigating Daedric activities. Kind of starts off very small, just going from town to town, investigating vampires and things like that, and then it just goes completely crazy in the second section of the storyline, where you basically go into Cold Harbour, which is the Daedric realm of Molag Bal. I think Elder Scrolls Online actually starts off in Cold Harbour, and here you take on some crazy big looking bosses which look pretty dope. I was very impressed by the mod. It's definitely worth trying out. Remember to get download the English translation with the mod and get the English voice acting add-on with the mod as well. To start the mod, all you have to do is talk to the Vigilant of Stendar within the Dawn Star Inn. Secondly, we have Darkened, or Dark End. No, it's Darkened. The quest mod is a little less story focused and feels more like just a bit of a sandbox exploration kind of really big content mod, which is a little bit more like Dark Souls. Obviously in Dark Souls you don't just get quests and go out into the world and complete quests, everything's like a little bit vague, you don't really know what's properly going on, and this mod kind of replicates that better. I mean, you won't be given a storyline to follow or anything, you're just going to be given this big ass creepy world to explore. It's a very well designed mod, as you can see by the background footage, and it's very similar to that Dark Souls gothic setting. It definitely replicates that very well. And just like the Vigilant, you're also going to encounter very challenging boss battles for you to overcome. To start the mod, travel to the north of Winterhold until you find Voyager's End, which is a shipwreck with a very impressive ship design, if I may add in. Just basically, it's just being used as a little bit of a placeholder for you to just like quickly jump into the game and start the content. Whereas the Vigilant mod is more implemented actually into the world of Skyrim. You're going to interact with, vanilla NPCs and things like that. Thirdly, we have APOTHEOSIS, the Lifeless Vaults, which is a small mod with 5 Dark Souls inspired boss fights. I didn't give this one a go myself because time's running short, but essentially your objective in this big content mod is to explore an ancient dwarven ruin, kill a number of dwarven mechanicals, and then retrieve an Elder Scroll. There's a lot of custom music in the mod, and even a cheeky legendary item that I think a lot of Morrowind players will definitely recognise. So that's it for all the really big content mods. If you just want to download those mods and jump in straight away without changing your gameplay, then you can go and do that, and you probably get a really good Dark Souls kind of replicated experience. But we're gonna go to town in this video and just completely transform Skyrim with these next mods, which are going to tweak the gameplay ever so slightly, however make a substantial difference to the game and make it very similar to a Dark Souls game. First we have the mod TK Dodge. This mod will add the ability to dodge in the game. You can customize it very easily with the mod configuration menu. Just as a side note, make sure to have SkyUI installed for any of these mods. You're probably going to need it for all of them. And always pay attention to the requirements of every single mod that you're going to install in this video. Most mods, on the Nexus will automatically they'll just tell you download this when you're trying to download them, so it's kind of happy days, but just be careful of that. Anyway, within the config menu for TK Dodge, you can adjust the stamina cost, things like that. If you want it to be more like Dark Souls, increase the stamina cost. I don't think you can, actually it doesn't matter. Also, make sure you have the enhanced animations mod and the kick bash mod installed with this mod to make it just run a little bit smoother and look a lot better. I just want to take a little pause from video, guys. You may not know that a lot of advertisers have pulled out of YouTube, which means YouTubers are earning about a third of what they used to, so I've had to start working like nearly full time now, which unfortunately means I can't make as many videos anymore. So I would really appreciate it if you supported me on TAD. It's just this little app you can download to your phone where you can quickly watch some adverts, and creators like me get paid for you to do that. There's a link to that in the description, but anyway, let's get on with your video. Now, to get the camera to look more like a Dark Souls game, you're going to have to download the mod called CUSTOMISABLE Camera. In the mod configuration menu, set the horizontal slider to 0, and in and out of combat, there's 2 settings. And I think that replicates the Dark Souls camera the best. I mean, have a mess around with the settings yourself if you think you can make it look even better. You've also got a field of view slider, I don't know what I was trying to say there. Field of view slider, which is also very fun to mess around with. The second camera mod I have for you is called Lock On. You can now, very simply press the shift key, although you can change the controls and the settings all in the mod configuration menu. And basically whenever you press the shift key, you will lock onto your target. You can, keep pressing it. I think you double tap it and it will switch target. You can also control where you're going to switch it. You're going to go to the target on the left or right. Just have a experiment with the mod and look through the configuration menu very closely. However, the problem with this mod, though, in my opinion, is the default reticule. I just thought it was ridiculous. It was obscene. Basically, you get this rainbow ugly piece of crap, and I'm like, what? So you can, fortunately, swap it. I swapped it with a mod called the RETEXTURE. Hang on, what's it called? Okay, it's called Lock On Reticule Retexture. Simply just very easily installed it. Will overwrite the old reticule, and I think this one looks better. It's a bit more simplistic and straightforward rather than this horrible rainbow thing. Now, guys, the next mod is kind of suicidal, but then again, Dark Souls is a suicidal game, isn't it? So it fits this video perfectly. The mod is called Skyrim Souls, and after installing it, say goodbye to eating 20,000 sweet rolls in the space of a second to heal yourself, because the mod will just completely remove that extremely unimmersive feature of Skyrim. It does this by preventing the game from physically pausing whenever you enter a menu. This also applies to the quick menu. You're going to have to acquire the skill of what speedrunners call menuing, for whenever you play Skyrim from here on. Next mod we have is Dragon Souls. Death is highly overrated. This mod, sometimes I say MOG accidentally for some reason. This mod aims to replicate how you die in Dark Souls and basically jam that into Skyrim. There are a number of different variations of dying with the mod installed. Basically, the last shrine you went to will become your spawn point, and you can return to that location. Basically, you return to that location, and then you can return to the location where you died to retrieve your items, a bit like how Dark Souls works. But if you die with an Amulet of Arcade on, then you keep your items, and you can also intentionally destroy an Amulet of Arcade to set up custom spawn points. Another similar mod is only save while resting, which essentially turns off manual saving in the game and restricts it to so that you can only save while you're resting in a bed, much like Dark Souls. The Dark Souls bonfire thing. So if you put these two mods together, then it perfectly works well, and then you get that Dark Souls death experience, I guess. Second to last, we have an animation mod called Animations. What this will do mainly is stop you from instantly drinking potions, like without you actually seeing you drink the potion. You're going to have to stop and physically drink the potion if you want to drink a potion, much like you can in Dark Souls. And also you can, there's animations for opening doors and opening chests and looting corpses and stuff like that as well. And just a quick mod to finish off, we have Loot and Degradation, which means that equipment in your game will actually get damaged and you have to repair it in order to keep it performing at tip-top performance. So have a look at that mod as well, because that's also a thing that is in Dark Souls. Anyway guys, very soon on the screen you're going to see links to very similar videos, which I definitely recommend checking out. I'm also streaming modded Skyrim and Oblivion on Twitch. Link in the description if you want to follow me on Twitch and follow my live streams. Anyway, my name is the Goblin, and until my next video, ciao.